Alright, looks like we're good to go, so let's get to it. Alright, first things first. First things first, I'm going to do a space. I'm going to do the space TFO so I can hopefully work a little bit more on updating my ship or upgrading its abilities. Do I have any other devices I could put in? No, I do not. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Of course, once I'm done with the... Of course, what...
Tuvok would like you to join his...
Don't worry, I'll get that. I'll get that after I'm done.
Bad news. I'm reading a lot of spatial distortion out there, and hostile ships are coming through. We're finishing some defense satellites to assist you, but we need some time. Do what you can until they're ready for activation.
Acknowledged. Oh, look at this. We have a... Look at this. We have a... We have herald ships here. Somebody's got a herald ships. I don't think I've ever... Of course, I could be wrong, but... I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen herald ship... Oh, there's two of them, too. I thought they were all one big thing. But, nope. Alright, so... Acknowledged. All right, we got to bring the satellites online. This one is okay. Shield frequency modulation. But yeah, I've never seen herald ships. I don't think I've ever seen anybody using herald ships before. Oh. And last one over here. All right, there we go. Let's get back into place.
Picking up multiple enemy signals on sensors. Get ready.
All right, all the ships here. All the little hangar pits are good. More of them over here that we got to take care of. Yeah, this one's going pretty good. Of course, we'll We'll see what happens once they actually start attacking the generators. Right now, they're just going after the. Right now, they're just actually going after the satellites. Speaking of which, one of the satellites down there is a little bit busted, but I can't get to it because I'm putting focus on the ships here. I launched a thing when all the ships are now over this way. And I am stuck in a tractor beam. See if we can get over there. Let's see if we can get over there to help. A lot of my fighters kind of exploded. Nice. Hold on just a second. I gotta do something here. Acknowledged. Okay, so we've got a tactical satellite. Got tactical. This side over here is going to be like a bunch of tactical ones. Alright, dreadnoughts. Yeah, sorry. Something's, Oh. Oh, the dreadnoughts are not getting... The dreadnoughts not getting dragged around by the black hole. There we go. Oh, there's a ship right over here. There's a ship right over here, just kind of lingering that needs to go. Get that going. Well, that's not great. That's not great. And unfortunately, since I exploded there, that means all my fighters are gone too. Trying to keep. Yeah, the dreadnoughts there. Dreadnoughts there are pretty annoying. There. Let's get that satellite back there. Let's get that satellite up and running again. Generator beta is a little bit damaged. Good. Hey!
Well done. We'll continue to ready our defenses here. If they come back, we'll be ready for them. Keeping Pahvo safe is important. You've done a lot today to make that happen. Thanks.
Thank you, Commander. And we're good, so we can actually leave.
Admiral Tuvok would like you to join his team as they study the mysterious artifact you found on Vadwar Prime. Meet with them in the Nal Shadan system.
Alright. Accept. And transwarp. Wow, I didn't realize how far behind I was with this character. Haven't even started. What's my endeavor over here? Hull hilling. Alright. Didn't even realize I haven't actually started the Iconian stuff on this character. Understood. Let's meet with Voyager. Alright. And beam over. Sorry about that. Had to set that down for a second to go get my phone. Understood. I'll talk to Tuvok.
Welcome back to Voyager. We were about to begin studying the device you recovered from Gall's communication center. Since you have spearheaded much of our efforts here, I would like you to take the lead once again. Captain Kim and 7 of 9 are at your disposal. Talk with them if you need more help deciphering the device. When you finish your analysis, return to me for further orders. I will be here in the transporter room to see you off.
Understood, Admiral. I'll take a look at the device and engineering. And alright, we gotta go have a look at the thing.
Glad you're here. We transported the device to engineering here so we could run all the scans and tests we could think of. The first thing we need to do is determine how it's communicating. We can't find any normal transmissions from it, but we're hoping you have some new ideas to bring to the table.
Agreed. Alright, scan the device. Yeah, we're looking for subspace fields. So, because of course it communicates with subspace.
The device communicates with subspace. We should have guessed that. Now comes the hard part. We need to access the device's memory core. The engineering team here on Voyager is good, and I've heard your team is top-notch. But it might take more time than we have for either team to make a full analysis. We should have both teams give you their opinions on the device. If we work together, hopefully we can make a breakthrough.
Agreed.
You'll need to set switches on the device until we get solid readings. We'll be able to tell if switches are in the correct position, but not which switches. Good luck.
I'll go set the switches. You have the teams tell me what the state the device is in. Everything is off, of course.
Sir, I've consulted with both the engineers here on Voyager and your chief engineer. I am seeing green across the board. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have access to the primary memory core of the device. Unfortunately, we're only halfway there. Now we need to access the secondary memory core to get full access to the data we need.
Okay, I'll access the secondary memory core. Same kind of thing. I like that. I usually just turn them all on just to make sure that they.
The engineers tell me there is only one switch in the correct orientation. Unfortunately, we can't determine which switch it is. Let me know when you think we have a better orientation, and they'll check again.
Okay. All right.
The engineers tell me there is only one switch.
So no.
Looks like you did it again. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have full access to the memory core of the device. 7 of 9 should be of assistance in accessing the memory banks of that device. She's in astrometrics, attempting to get a fix on the location of who or what is receiving these transmissions.
Excellent. I'll go see 7 and 9. All right. Oh. All right. There we go. Got to beam the thing. Got to beam the thing to astrometrics. Now we come over here. Yeah, we pass this. We pass this all the way to engineering.
We have access to the databanks of the device. Very efficient work. From the data we have received so far, we will be able to pinpoint the exact transmission coordinates. However, it is possible that doing so may alert whomever is on the other end that we have reverse-engineered their technology. There are 3 likely ways to get at the information. I suggest further analysis to determine the best course of action.
Alright. Come up here and get the data from the device. I think what I need to do is this. Yes. And return to Tupac. So yeah, we had to let brute force it, but it still worked.
Fascinating. Excellent work. With this location, we may be able to finally reveal who gave the Vaadwaur their advanced technology, and why the neuroparasites appeared again in this time and place. Commander Jarok of the Romulan Republic has requested to join you on this operation. Her own analysis of the device has shown that the Romulans have had some contact with the creators of this device, a race known as the Ilachi. She will meet you in subspace at the given coordinates. Finally, Voyager's emergency medical hologram, the Doctor, will be assigned to your crew. His knowledge of the Delta Quadrant races may prove invaluable. He's not much of a combatant, but should prove useful.
Understood, Admiral. Oh, let's talk to the Doctor.
Hello again.
There we go. And beam up. We'll beam up and head into subspace. Reflective crystallized shielding. I think I'm getting pretty close to actually finishing up the Pahvo thing. I don't remember if it's actually tied to the event campaign, but of course, you never know. Go to yellow alert. Keep an eye on those Ilachi ships.
Greetings. This is Commander Jarok of the RRW Lisette. When we learned that the Ilachi were involved, I requested to shadow you on this mission. I know you have experience dealing with the Ilachi, and I thought you'd want some extra firepower.
Yep, already know too much about the Ilachi. Happy to have your extra firepower. Or, already know too much about the Ilachi. Happy to have your extra firepower, though. Welcome.
Alright, we'll follow your lead here.
Yep, because of course this...
3 patrol groups. Recommend we eliminate them before we board the station.
Yep, because this is a Romulan. This is a Romulan character, and they've dealt with the Alachi. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty helpful. It's pretty helpful keeping those things in one spot. Forward shield's a little bit damaged there. Oh yeah, we need out of that. Yeah, we need out of that. Don't want to get hit by that. Well, he's behind me. He's behind me now. There we go. That takes care of that. All right. With the patrols taken care of, we can beam down to the station. But yeah, I'm surprised. Surprised I'm this far back with this character. I could have sworn I was a little bit further, but I guess not. All right. Once, of course, we get past the loading screen. Of course.
Good. You found a breathing apparatus. That should take care of that nasty cough.
Commander Druck?
I was thinking we should split up and cover as much of the facility as we can, unless you have a better idea.
Doctor, what's your take on the situation?
This is obviously an Alachi facility. What I know about them comes from the Romulan Republic's databases, but I should be able to learn more as we examine this location. The air here is suitable for the Alachi, which means that you may find breathing difficult. I, of course, do not have that problem. If you have an environmental suit, or even some sort of rebreather, you will be fine. If you don't, keep an eye out for something that could help filter out the toxins.
Don't worry, I got myself a suit, so that shouldn't be too much trouble.
These are solar tables. I bet the Enterprise stop.
Right. Okay, I thought I was stuck there. And oh, there's a thing right over here that I want to grab. And I want to scan the thing. One of my crew has the idea of. Oh, they're over there. They're over there fighting the Alachi in that room.
These are definitely Solanae tables, which, if I'm correct, is the same race you dealt with after using the Iconian Gateway on New Romulus. The Solanae kidnapped victims of the subspace for their brutal experiments. If they are somehow connected to the Alachi and the Vadwar, this is beginning to make more sense. If I had to guess, there must be a stasis room nearby. We should find it and rescue anyone in there who can still be saved.
Okay. We need to go this way. That door's shut, so we can't go through there. Grab that and move on through the things this way.
It looks as if they are converting their captives into more Alachi. If my readings are correct, there are several individuals here who have only just begun the conversion process. We can save them if we beam them back to your ship.
And well, we can do that, but of course we gotta take care of all the Alachi around here. And there's a lot of them. There we go. Alright. Start opening up the things here.
A Kazon? Even the Borg won't assimilate the Kazon.
Oh no, I didn't see anyone in that. Pod there.
You'll be back on duty before you know it. One to be mine.
There we go. I think there's one over in this side. Yes, it's a Talaxian. It's a Talaxian.
Transport this Talaxian directly to sickbay.
Let's see. Alright. We got one right here.
We're transporting you to a Romulan ship. You're going to be fine. Ah, a Hazari. Stay calm. We'll get you the medical
Got
attention
that.
you need.
Ah, there's Klingon in this one. And that just leaves one more pod.
This is no way for a proud Klingon warrior to go out. We'll patch him up immediately.
Ah, right over here.
Everything will be fine, Mr. Turay. We'll beam you directly to sickbay.
There we go.
Well, the Solanae are definitely involved. I believe I have everything I need from this area. We need to keep moving if we hope to meet up with Commander Jirok. The door is unlocked now. We should keep going.
Alright, there we go. We got that taken care of. We'll move through. Apparently the dinosaurs immune to the toxins. So they don't have to worry about having to get a suit. I like the way he just kind of dropped out of nowhere. Kinda like he's an Undine. I'll grab that, and we'll come over here.
This is I,
Be careful, Commander.
A prison break? Maybe I should go back to the ship.
Alright. And we need to head this way.
Neural parasites. This must be where the Vaadwaur were implanted with those mind-controlling bugs.
Yeah, the Selene are not combatant, so they see us coming, they just leave.
Neural parasites. Just as I suspected. Did you know that several Starfleet officers were infected by these in the mid-2360s? The Enterprise logs from that era are fascinating reading if you ever have a few dozen hours to spare.
I'll take a look at them later, Doctor. Continue, please.
If Gaul and the infected Vaadwaur were communicating with this station, it stands to reason that this may be the facility where the bluegill implantation takes place. We should definitely investigate further. If we can find the implantation room, then I should be able to analyze their equipment and gather more information. I don't believe it. The empirical evidence is right in front of me, but I'm actually having difficulty processing this information.
What is it?
This tech, this whole facility, it's Iconian. There are variations on the norm, of course, because of the Solanae and Alachi influence, but I see distinct signs of their presence throughout the facility.
Iconians? Here, too?
The Iconians, as we know them, rarely reveal themselves. The only known interaction with an Iconian in modern history took place on Kronos, when... Wait, you were there! I don't need to explain that situation again. As I was saying, the Iconians don't like to act directly. They use servitor races, like the Alachi and the Solanae, to cause chaos in their name. And the neural parasites, they've bioengineered. Rather like the founders created the Gemini, but sophisticated enough to control another species, and with much less free will. The parasites are a weapon.
What about the Vaadwaur? They were active before the Iconians revealed themselves.
When Voyager revived the Vaadwaur, their technology was outdated compared to what other powers in the Delta Quadrant had at that time. Even the Kazon outdid them. But now, Vaadwaur technology is cutting edge. The only way they could have advanced so far, so fast, was by allying themselves with someone else, with the Iconians. The Vaadwaur got their tech upgrades from them, but they also got the neural parasites. The parasites gave the Vaadwaur power, but they gave the Iconians control. They were ultimately the ones pulling the strings. This entire war has been against an enemy we didn't even see.
That's the information we needed to find. Let's meet with Commander Drock. Get off this station. Okay. I don't think I need to do anything in here at the moment. Oh. More parasites, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more of them. Yep, more of them in here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the ones out here first before I actually start scanning. Alright. Scan the things here.
Some of this technology is ancient, but it's quite advanced.
Alright, we got that. This one right over here.
This is more like a factory than a laboratory.
And... right here.
These parasites aren't a natural species at all. They look engineered.
Which, of course, he mentioned earlier. Yeah. Let me scan the thing. All right, and we need to head back to the previous chamber. Not this chamber. Not this chamber, but this one. Understood.
I think we're catching up with the escapees, and they might be from the Alpha Quadrant. We found a dead Romulan in prisoner guard. He was part of the breakout, but I don't know if he was part of the Republic or loyal to the Tal Shiar. Keep an eye out. The prisoners are headed in your direction.
Understood. We'll be ready for them.
Maybe we should avoid any potential contact with the prisoner? I think I've seen enough combat for today.
Alright, we need to head through this way. Ah, I need it in this room. I guess the air is fine here because we're out of our environmental suit.
I knew my people would search for their empress. Has the Republic finally realized you need me?
That's of course.
More Alachi. I don't think the Iconians want me to leave.
Alright.
Their tenacity is almost admirable.
There we go. Let me grab the things. Let me grab the things here.
Looks like you could use a hand.
And now we have their leader's attention.
Which ain't too much of a surprise since we've been going through the compound. Been going through this compound here, just I'm stuck. Oh, of course I call the security team down. Security team down as they're defeated.
Seela! I should kill you where you stand. It'll be justice for all the lives you've destroyed.
Calm down, Jirok.
And if you do, you'll never learn about the Iconians. I've been here for months. I've seen enough to know you need my help.
That could be very valuable information, Commander Jirok.
Fine, you interrogate her. I might get a little carried away. But she returns with me to the Lisette when you're finished here. If the Federation or the KDF want to talk to her after that, they can go through official channels. She's no empress. She's a criminal, and she'll be treated as such.
Agreed. You can take custody of her once we're done.
You and this Seela person seem to have some history. I'll leave you to speak to her.
Didn't see that over there. All right, let's see what we got.
Somehow I knew you'd be the one to find me. Tiaru is short-sighted. She'd kill me and lose all the secrets I know. Secrets I'm willing to share, if you keep her on her leash. You've stumbled into something much greater than you're prepared to handle. I'm the best ally you have.
Talk, then I'll decide what happens to you.
I assume you already know where you are. Both the Alachi and the Solanae serve the Iconians. The Alachi are their warriors, and the Solanae are their scientists. They're the ones who created those creatures implanted into the Vaudoir.
The neural parasites. Why did the Iconians use them here but not on the tall shark?
Hakiv joined the Iconians out of faith. He thought the Iconians would create an empire he could rule. That did not go as planned. This time the Iconians wanted to control their puppets. When the Vaudoir asked for strength to defeat their enemies, the Iconians gave them the parasites. The Vaudoir had strength, but also strings. Strings that have now been cut. I'm sure you had something to do with that.
Yes, alongside an alliance of the Federation and the Klingon Empire.
All three of you working together? The world has changed in my absence. Or were the Vaudoir that much of a threat to the Alpha Quadrant?
Actually, we're in the Delta Quadrant now.
That explains some things. I'd love an escort back to the world at large, but I have a feeling you have some questions first.
I do have some few questions.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
What's your relationship with the Iconians? Were you their prisoner or their ally?
How important is that, really? I worked with the Iconians because, at the time, I thought it was the best thing for my people. After we lost the homeworld, we were scattered, starving. A shadow of what we once were. What were we supposed to do? Beg the Federation or the Klingons for scraps? Pathetic. The so-called Romulan Republic has made their way, but they did it at the cost of Romulan dignity.
Is dignity more important than survival?
We are not refugees. We are Romulan. We needed a strong leader to bind us together again, and I knew I could be that leader. The Iconians were a means to an end. They gave us strength at a time when we were at our weakest. Had I known what Hakiv, what he and the Iconians did to our world, perhaps I would not have made the same decision.
Republic is thriving. You're in prison. Who made the better choice?
Dwelling on the past is meaningless. I am here, and so are you. Today, our goals are aligned. We both want to stop the Iconian advance. You need me.
You're only half Romulan. Your mother was human, after all.
Do you think that makes my sacrifices any less? Do you believe I was not a true leader, an empress for the Romulan people, simply because of an accident of birth? Everything I did, everything I fought for, was for the way of Daera.
So-called sacrifices cannot erase your heritage.
So how much Romulan blood do I need to be Romulan? Is a single drop of human blood too much? As Empress, I guided the Empire through its greatest dangers. The Rihansu have great passion. It gives them power. Power enough to seize their own destiny. But that destiny cannot be realized by bowing to politicians or debating endlessly in a mockery of democracy. Tom Couper, qui heed. Reach far, grasp much.
Your ambition, at least, was Rihansu. I'm not entirely sure if I pronounced that, but I do have more questions.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
Do the Iconians have a weakness? Something we could exploit to help us defeat them?
Hubris. The Iconians think they are the rulers of the galaxy. They thought so 200,000 years ago, when they were driven off their homeworld by the fire of 1,000 races allied against them. They think so now, when they look at us and see us as children stumbling in the dark. They do not see our strength, our willingness to fight. Use their hubris against them, and the Iconians will fall.
Okay, noted. I have another thing I want to talk to you about.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
What's the Iconian master plan?
I honestly don't know. Why would they share their plans with a prisoner? That may make me less valuable in your eyes, but don't be fooled. I know more about the Iconians' operations than they realize.
Okay, perhaps there's a different question you'll feel more comfortable in answering.
I'll answer what I can. You can believe what you want.
Where's the rest of your crew?
Ah, the crew. The Alachi took them one by one and turned them into those things. Revolting. If I had known that was what they were doing with the captives from the colonies, I would have...
Now who's dwelling on the past?
Yes, you were asking about the crew. A handful of us were still alive when the station went on alert. We took a chance and made our escape. They died, nobly, as Romulans protecting their Empress. I will remember their sacrifice.
I think we're done here. Time to return to our ship.
Will I be taken into your custody, or will I be left to Tiara's tender mercies?
We've agreed that in the spirit of cooperation, Commander Jirok will take custody. She is under strict orders to deliver you directly to Alliance Command. You will not be harmed.
Very well. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, do I?
Lisette, one to beam up. Alright, and beam back up to the ship.
We have Empress Sela in our brig. When she was taken by the Iconians last year, many of my people thought she would get away with her heinous crimes against the galaxy. With her in my brig, I am happy to know that is no longer a possibility. Of course, I understand that the Romulan Republic's claim on her is not unique. Her crimes are against all of the Alpha Quadrant. To that end, I will ensure that she be made available to all the Alliance leaders for interrogation and debriefing.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I'd call a walk in the park. At least we know exactly how the Iconians were controlling the Vaadwaur. And you've certainly put a crimp in their plans. On the upside, as a photonic life form, I'm immune to any attempts at subversion by neural parasites. I'll see to the care of the captives we've rescued. In the meantime, it sounds like you and the Romulan Republic Command have a lot to talk about. Sela certainly has a story to tell, but should we believe all of it? I'll put a bug in Admiral Janeway's ear about the situation. That was a joke, by the way. You're going to be busy. Don't overdo... Oh, who am I kidding? Command officers never take their doctor's advice. Just remember that you're not in this alone. Good luck. I suspect things are starting to get interesting.
And with that, we return back to normal space. Alright.
We have a situation on Kabali Prime. You and I were both asked by name to help. All that I've been told is that the Vaadwaur have launched a large offensive and have retaken the area in front of their temple, the place where they keep unconscious Vaadwaur stored.
Actually, I thought I would be able to do that. Let me go and deal with this Deep Space Nine thing. Then I'll cut the stream because I do need to head off for right now. All right. I think this is from one of the reputation tiers. Some of them have little things attached to them. Some of them have these little things attached to them. Some of them do not. The one I'm trying for in this character does not actually have them. But I'm pretty sure I was doing Terran Empire stuff on this character too for whatever reason. All right, yes, beam directly to ops. Next mission should, when I actually do swing back with this character, next mission should transport me to where I need to be. I think yes.
Personal log, Admiral Lita. So little time. When I was merely a captain serving on occupied Bajor, I had no choice but to rely on seduction and misdirection. All my years working for the Terran Rebellion, and my Bajoran roots were still thrown in my face. Captain Lita, nothing more than a figurehead to placate the Bajorans. resented by my crew and dismissed by the Admiralty. Then, the Orb of Possibilities was returned, and it showed me the way. Now, all possibilities are ahead of me. The orb showed me the Coast-Emogen. Maybe the prophets were trying to warn me. The Coast-Emogen showed me a hint of power. The Pa Wraiths burned away weakness, burned away age, burned away mortality. The future would be mine if I could just grasp it. Admiral, Fleet Admiral, perhaps more. Now, travelers have come from the future, back in time to give us weapons to destroy the Iconians. Travelers who already know my plans and my fate. I don't trust them, but can I use them?
Alright. So what else? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I did not even realize this. I did not even realize this was here. Holy crap. Alright. Okay, that being said, that is where I need to leave off right now. So we'll continue with the last of the Delta Quadrant missions next time. Do me a favor if you would. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. Helps me and my channel out quite a bit. So I'm done for right now. So thanks for